Welcome to Tuesday. It's the 13th day of May, 2025. This podcast brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Feel the energy of Converse County. Explore Douglas's railroad heritage, Ayers Natural Bridge, and the Jackalope legend. Glen Rock boasts scenic trails, dinosaur history, and small town charm. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, the story starting today and lasting right on through a good part of next week will be two Pacific weather systems coming across the west. The first one is going to have its biggest impact starting in most of your areas later today and tonight, and will go through tomorrow and into Thursday. Then another system is going to be arriving as we get into late in the weekend and early next week. It's going to be warm again today, breezy areas, but especially, as we'll show you in a minute, the western slope of Colorado back into Utah. Be ready for the wind today, as this storm system has a history of wind. So be ready for that, especially west of the divide. The winds get strong east of the divide late Wednesday into Thursday. Much cooler temperatures, rain, mountain snow, thunderstorm activity will affect the northern areas. So northern Idaho, all of Montana, the northern parts of Wyoming, the Dakotas, parts of Nebraska's, central and eastern areas, as you'll see in a minute. High elevation snow. Now there's going to be scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night into Thursday morning elsewhere. So there'll be enough moisture and instability that outside of the consistent, steady moisture will be some activity. Then we have this next storm system that arrives late in the weekend and into early next week. And that system is getting more and more interesting in terms of what it might be able to do. So we're going to have more of these rainbows and more of these showers, especially here over the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, speaking of the wind, it's not only Wyoming that experiences the wind, as you can see here, as that trough of low pressure came into California. Lots of wind. You can see lots of tree and branch damage going on there. Thanks for sending that in, John. And then here is another great Jan Curtis time lapse. Now, we showed you a photo from yesterday of the shower and thunderstorm activity that developed over portions of Colorado and Wyoming and western Nebraska on Sunday. And we showed you how the rain was having a hard time reaching the ground. We showed you where to kind of identify where the updraft was of the thunderstorm. And this is a great time lapse of what we saw during that course of that Sunday afternoon in southeastern Wyoming. And you can see the texture, you can see the virga. If you watch carefully, you can see strong winds causing blowing dust. A lot going on here, and you can see this is what happens when you get into a drought area. If you don't have that good soil moisture feeding back into the atmosphere, there you can see the updraft texture there. It's hard to get it to rain. That's why droughts are so vicious, is it's a vicious circle. Thanks, Jan, for sending that in. Just wonderful when you put it all together and put it through time. The storm system dumping a foot of snow up near Mount Bachelor in Oregon near Bend. Thanks for sending that in. So we've got everything here in the podcast this morning, including a great shot here of Sinks Canyon Falls, runoff really getting going in these warmer temperatures. This time of year, you just have a lot going on, including anti-crepuscular rays there at sundown. You get those rays at sundown, sunrise, if conditions are just right. Beautiful sunset up in Glen Rock yesterday evening. Satellite photos show what's coming next. Here's the next trough. It's quite elongated, as you'll see on the 500 millibar chart. Those are thunderstorms up in Canada. The southwest flow pumping that warm air in, causing a lot of instability. So those bright clouds over Manitoba, Saskatchewan, that's thunderstorm activity. Moisture is going to get drawn up into here. Colder air is coming in from the northwest. And you're going to see this frontal boundary on the eastern edge of that large trough up here, beginning to penetrate into Montana, western Wyoming, and into the Great Basin. And you can see the pressure gradient starting to show up, and that's going to lead to a lot of wind. So here's that elongated trough today. So southerly wind flow will pump in very warm air east of the divide again. West of the divide, it begins to cool off, and you're going to get shower and thunderstorm activity. In advance of this storm system coming, winter weather advisories in effect for the Bighorns, For the higher elevations, west of Cody and Meeteetse, north of Du Bois there, we've got a winter storm warning for the Beartooth Mountains. Flood advisories are in effect for the green areas, and those flood advisories extend all the way up through Montana. The additional rain that's coming, the snow melt from all of the warmth, going to lead to a high runoff, flooding concerns, and heavy snow in the mountains. I guess it's springtime. This is where the low is going to be by noon tomorrow. So by noon tomorrow, it pushes further east, so it's going to be producing a lot of weather, especially here in the northern areas. And there's going to be some shower and thunderstorm activity developing as early as later today and tonight and into Wednesday as the low heads east. Now, as it heads east, it's going to strengthen a little bit over eastern South Dakota. So that's going to bring enhanced rainfall to the northern plains. They could use it. So there's going to be a good chunk of rain in North and South Dakota into Minnesota here, as you'll see here in a minute. See this little ripple right here back behind this low? This will produce showers and thunderstorms Wednesday into Thursday on the backside of it, probably into the Friday period as well, and it's going to draw in some much cooler temperatures. This is the thunderstorm prediction for today. We'll have a few thunderstorms that could get strong in northeastern Wyoming, southeastern Montana, Rapid City area, up to near Williston. Then, as we go 24 hours further on into tomorrow, as that low strengthens, we may have some severe weather in these yellow areas here. And here's the general shower and thunderstorm activity on the backside of this trough. So this trough will produce quite a bit of weather. Here's the wind. Strong wind gusts from Arizona, New Mexico, the western slope of Colorado, and up into southwestern Wyoming. So this system will make for some windy conditions today. So travelers on I-80 in northern Utah, but also especially Interstate 80 and 70 in western Colorado and across eastern Utah as that front approaches and goes through. Here's the cumulative prediction of precipitation through Friday afternoon. So you can see there's this enhanced area of rain and mountain snow that is right here. So the Bighorn Basin, you're going to get wet again. The Bighorns, the front range of the Bighorns up into south central areas of Montana, you're going to do quite well again. This is the scattered shower and thunderstorm activity that will develop Wednesday into Thursday and Friday with that little trailing piece of energy. And look at the rains here across south central Canada through the central and eastern Dakotas. And then we're also going to get rain into north central and northeastern areas of Nebraska, especially right here in the Sandhills that could really use it. And of course, just along and east of the divide, got a little bit of a shadow again. But there will be a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity here. Snow levels will fall. Heavy snow in the Beartooths, the Bighorns, and into the higher elevations of southwest Montana and northeastern Idaho, even the mountains of Colorado, the high Wasatch, even down here, snow levels get pretty low in the overnight hours with this system coming on through. So we've had a big warm up, but we're going to have a big cool down. Temperatures will be much cooler. Now by the weekend, that upper level low is now up northeast of Lake Superior, and here comes the next low diving in. What I want you to pay attention to is the elongated shape of this low pressure system and this area right here. This area right here, in essence, is going to be another little upper level low that's going to swing and kick up to the north like this as we get into Sunday night and Monday. And you can see that here. You see this lobe, we'll call this a vorticity lobe. That, if that does develop, that will cause an area of showers and thunderstorms that will develop in this region here Sunday into Monday if it comes through like that. So we'll just keep an eye on it. But this is going to be a weather maker. This little guy right here, we have high pressure building in behind it, which will make it dig a little bit more. And it's going to bring in a fair amount of cold air aloft. So this is by Monday morning. Look at these temperatures by Sunday afternoon. These are temperature anomalies that are 20 to nearly 30 degrees below average, cooling off significantly Sunday with this secondary trough coming on through. So that could drop snow levels early next week farther down in elevation than I think a lot of people would like if that comes together like that. We'll keep an eye on it. Model agreement is actually pretty good with that system for late in the weekend and early next week. But first things first, we'll deal with this first system here over the next few days. Then as we get to the end of the week, we'll see what the second system is able to do. But despite the fact it's felt like summer here lately, don't fall in love with it just quite yet. Have yourself a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.